Hey everybody, this is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine, aka Vulcan Wolverine 2. I hope everybody's having a good night tonight. Welcome to my channel, welcome to my videos. If you haven't been here before, let me turn my video off. And welcome to anybody that's coming in to chat. I kind of just wanted to do a live stream tonight. I don't think I'm going to do a panel, but there's something that's weighing really heavily on my heart. I'll wait till a couple more people get in the chat. I'll kind of just talk about what's been going on with me lately. Defense is working pretty well. I get some, I get some relief. I thought it was very, very interesting and a very, very good piece of information. I might go over this again when some more people get in the chat. But yesterday, because like I have a weird, messed up sleeping schedule because of my targeting. So I stayed up all night yesterday and into the day, probably about like 10 o'clock in the morning. I was kind of trying to wind down, and my attackers, I could feel it, and they do this a lot. They do this a lot. There was a stream of energy hitting my head, like right here, like right where the front of your brain is, kind of like right where the front of the skull is. And I thought it was very interesting because I had thought this before, but Nicholas kind of put words to it. I kind of thought, well, yeah, they're probably hitting certain parts of the head to stimulate certain parts of certain areas of the brain. And I really think that that is a huge insight, because my attacker sometimes will shoot like a directed energy stream right in the middle of my head, right in the middle where the front of your head kind of meets the back. And I think that it like my face started getting a lot more sore and everything like that. So we do need to learn about these corresponding parts of the brain to what they affect in the body. And hey, Jared, hey man, how you doing, brother? Are you getting ready for 2020? I figured we should go into 2020 strong. I want to be doing as many videos, getting out as much information as I can, and I think we all need to be doing that. What I was going to focus on tonight, guys, because in the last, we had the 8-hour panel, and I know it was pretty long, but the discussion was just so good. It was a bunch of really, really smart guys on the panel. But went back and kind of saw some of the chat, and Autumn's children are being targeted along with her. So a lot of the women targeted individuals, a lot of just women targeted individuals in general, their children are also being targeted. Now, if it's 24 hours a day, or if they're maybe targeting their children every once in a while to psyop them, whatever the case. And then there are children who are targeted, who have non-targeted parents, which may even be a more dangerous situation. So I wanted to get help from you guys in chat, and hopefully Autumn will come into chat, and we can talk about this. I'm gonna offer some solutions, and it's pretty thin, right? It's pretty thin. I mean, we're having trouble. The adult targeted individuals, we're having trouble defending this stuff and getting the right kind of help that we need. But I just wanted to talk about a couple of things that hopefully they can help. Hopefully they can help if you have a child that is being targeted. If you're a targeted individual, and you have a child that's hearing B2K, or their body's getting heated up by these weapons or anything like that, we're going to go through a couple of solutions that I think could work, could attenuate some of that down. Plus, there's something else I want to do. I'm not sure if it's going to work at all. I don't know if it's going to help us at all, but I want to do everything in my power. It really, really bothers me when there are women targeted individuals. They're being, their minds are being tortured, their bodies are being tortured, they're being electronically raped, and then these monsters that are doing it to them are also doing it to their children, and that's got to be the worst feeling in the world. I have nephews and nieces that That's the closest I can get. In my dog, of course, I'm not comparing my dog to a human child, but when my dog's sick, like I worry, and it's worse because I feel more helpless. So I kind of wanted to talk about that tonight, amongst some other things too. I might kind of wait till a lot more people get in the chat, but I want to show y'all some things first. Show y'all something I got today in the mail. Hey, Nicholas. Nicholas says, "Hey everybody, Happy New Year." Yeah, brother. Hey, keep yourself healthy, Nicholas. Keep yourself as healthy as possible because we need you, brother. You've got a lot of great insight into all this. You have a very level head about this and a bunch of awesome solutions. Thank you so much for coming on the other night. It was just that's one of those panels that if non-targeted individuals see it, there's no way that they could say those people are just mentally ill. You had Nicholas Hamlin on there, you had Bose Kurt, you had Wayne, you had Vocal Sword, and then Brock came on too. All very, very smart guys. It's a great conversation. Everybody offered a lot. I think Bose Kurt was very, very correct, and we need more organization. I mean, period. We need more organization. Hey, Andrew Littleton. Andrew says, "What up? What up? What up? Appreciate you, bro." I appreciate you too, Andrew. Thank you for coming. Yeah, it was great, Nicholas. What I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep it short tonight because something bad happened like this morning when I was about to go to sleep, and I think it was either just my attackers or I was taking this chlorella. But before I took my chlorella, I ate a big bowl of SpaghettiOs, and then I took my chlorella, and then immediately after that, my attackers had been shooting a stream of energy like right here, so it could have been that. But right afterwards, I started getting like gas from both sides, and like I literally for 2 hours I was like writhing in pain. It was the worst stomach pain I'd ever had in my life. I think it was because I took chlorella like while I was eating. So be careful with that. If you're taking chlorella, take it on an empty stomach because I think it metabolizes any kind of food you're eating, and it can give you really, really, really like just beyond the worst gas you've ever had in your life. And I think my attackers were also hitting me in the stomach too. But it was the most torturous stomach stuff I've had since years ago when my Crohn's disease was all flared up. It's kind of past now, but I think that it was the chlorella. I think I was taking the chlorella on a full stomach, and it was metabolizing that food to where it was just producing all this gas. It was very, very bad. So I'm feeling kind of shaky a little bit, but I'm fine. I'm fine. We're gonna go into the new year strong. We're gonna keep talking about this stuff. We're gonna keep trying to come up with solutions. I might need your help on this one, Nicholas. I'm going to offer up some of my solutions for if a targeted individual woman, if their children or man, if their children are being targeted, some things that I think could attenuate it down, and some of the less complicated solutions, because I know a lot of these things like the noise canceling hearing aids, you might not be able to get your child fitted for hearing aids or something like that, but there are other things that you can do. It's been like since seeing Autumn talking in that chat room, I've just that's all I can think of. It's all I can think of because that's like the worst thing. Like us as adults being targeted, yes, it's horrifying. It's the worst thing, but children who are helpless dealing with this and not knowing what's going on, especially when their parents are a targeted individual and does know what's going on, is the worst thing that I could ever think of. So I really want to spend some time with that, and especially if somebody is friends with Autumn and can get in touch with her and make sure she's doing okay and give her support. We want to give her support here. But that's a huge, huge deal. There's children everywhere in America and other countries that are being targeted. Neuro weapons are being used on them. They're being electronically raped. It's beyond unacceptable, right? Infinite times beyond unacceptable. And I wanted to spend a little bit of time on some things that may not be that great. It may not fix it, but at least we'd be putting some ideas out there. Let me read some of y'all's chats. Samsonite says Cassandra's children are targeted. Cassandra Starfire, yeah, I've seen some of her videos, so maybe this can help her too. And I need your help in chat, guys, for some of the ideas. I like, let's see, Nicholas Hamlin says conductive carbon paint to create a Faraday cage. Yeah, that's a great idea, Nicholas. I also liked your idea about the rubber sole of the shoe, then aluminum, then the insert, like the Dr. Scholl's insert, but like a rubber insert. So it's creating a plate where all that directed energy will kind of filter down, will be grounded out through that little plate that you put on the bottom of your shoe. I think that could be used for children if their parents can get that set up, where it's the rubber sole of the shoe, then aluminum, then the like Dr. Scholl's insert or rubber insert like that. I like that idea. So you're saying conductive carbon paint to create a Faraday cage. I'm also hearing from Drunken Ninja these grow tents that they use to grow plants in. These things have mylar and aluminum around them. And then I think that we could maybe add to that. So that's another kind of idea for a Faraday cage. And I've got some other things that I want to go through too. Hey, Swag Astronomer. Swag Astronomer says, money and power in a group of people that sacrifice innocent people for their own purpose. Yeah. Yeah, it's a big system. This is an organized industry. I mean, this is like, it's part industry, part weapons development. It's like part military weapons development, part industry. And so they're experimenting on us and torturing us. And they have to have what Brock was saying on the panel. What was he saying, Nicholas? It's like a set of people, a set of variables where it just pulls from everybody, young and old, this culture, that culture, this personality, this type of genetics and this type of genetics. So they have this, they want to get as many different types of genetics, personalities, cultures, ages, and everything like that to do these experiments on and to torture for our entire lifetimes, which is just, it's sick. It's beyond sick. But I kind of want to just think of some solutions tonight as we go into the new years. I really want to put a strong focus on anything positive we can give each other and support each other and bring each other's morale up and everything like that. Samsonite says there's a new doghouse. Read that. Samsonite says there's a new doghouse made by Ford that has noise cancellation. It's almost big enough to sleep in. Okay, I'll look into that. Look, also some guys, if you could look into the grow tents. The grow tents that would be like maybe 5 foot high. I guess they have like a black fabric, and then there's like mylar on the inside. And Drunken Ninja was saying that was really good to use, and you could add stuff to it. Alan Nielsen Brewer says, great to see you, Kyle, and hi, fellow TIs. Thank you for coming, Alan. I hope you're doing okay. I hope all you guys are, finding some relief. My body's pretty messed up, but what's new? I'm getting some relief from the defenses. I'll show you all something in a second that I just got in the mail today. I'm going to see how it works when I sleep. I don't know if I'm going to put it on because I've got these things on, but I'll show y'all kind of the setup. So Nicholas Hamlin says, I'm hopeful for the Schumann pulsars. I have a new direction to try that would be simpler to make based on a cross between inductive hearing loop and Schumann resonator. It's even more motivation to come up with shielding. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm also talking to Slack TI Nicholas, and he seems to be doing some stuff with sound, trying to get the V2K sounding clear so that he can record it. I'd kind of like to see if maybe me, you, and him could have a conversation because he seems to be doing a lot of stuff with binaural beats. And he's working with getting the AI V2K to react and literally tricking it into slowing down the pattern that it's going in. I need to do a lot more on that because it does sound like my attackers are like doing some manual stuff and then some stuff is completely automated. But I want to learn more because this AI I think is pretty advanced, and I think they trick me sometimes. I think that I do sometimes think they'll say something manually, but it's set up by the automated systems to, react to my EEG and stuff like that. Jared Ritter says, I don't know how any perp can justify targeting a child exactly. The scientists who are involved will experiment on them. And that's what I want to say right now. And this may not work. Let me read a couple more of your chats, but I'm going to come back to that comment, Jared. Nicholas Hamlin says, I believe carbon paint, Faraday plus positive EMF Schumann solfeggio frequency. So like a mixture, right? That's the thing that I found that works the best, mix and match, because you're layering these different things like say grounding, Dave Case's CD, passive defenses on the head, plus CVS driver, and it's harder for our attackers to adapt to a bunch of layered defenses, I want to go back to this one. Let me read Nicholas Hamlin's again. That's really important. I believe carbon paint like a Faraday, carbon paint Faraday cage, plus positive EMF Schumann and solfeggio frequencies. And hey, generation says, hi, Kyle. It's good to see you. So I want to go back to this thing that Jared Ritter says. He says, I don't know how any perp can justify targeting a child. The scientists who are involved will experiment on them. So what I want to do now, and I don't know if this is going to work, guys. I get the feeling like from my attackers that they are ex-military, that they feel like they're doing a job. Mine seem like they would never torture a child, but they have hurt my dog. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what all of our attackers are in each different situation, like how much oversight they have on them, what contractor they work for. But I get the feeling that there is a chain of command. I'm pretty sure about that. I'm pretty sure that these contractors, the human operators on these automated systems, there will be a chain of command. So what I want to do now is I just want to say, and so there's 17 people watching right now, and my attackers, so we probably got at least 15, well, 17, there's 16, okay, yeah, okay, 15 now. Targeted individuals who their attackers are remote neural monitoring you guys. They're seeing this video. They're seeing me talking about children being experimented on by these weapons. Maybe some of them know that. Maybe some of them have experimented on children. Maybe some of them at this moment are experimenting on children. But what I want to do, and I don't know if this is going to work, guys. I don't know if this will do anything, but I do want to have a plea to humanity, not this system doing this, but I want to say for all of the terrorists that are doing this to us, that are on remote neural monitoring right now through us, there are children being experimented on if you did not know. And I feel like if you have a chain of command, which I don't know, I'm not sure, but if you have a chain of command and you and this concerns you, like you're like torturing an adult individual who's innocent is bad enough. But if there's any part of you, if there's any part of your humanity left where you say, wow, torturing children's way too far, I wonder what group is doing that, please report it up the chain. Please report it up the chain. Come out in public and talk about this. We want you to come out and talk about this stuff so it can end. But I would just like to make a plea to humanity here. If there are any human beings, I guess there's some people that look like human beings doing this stuff. Their children, there's women in this chat room who their children are being targeted, microwaved, neuroweapons are being used on them. Please report it. If you have a chain of command and a manager above you, please report that type of activity and say, look, I didn't sign up to experiment on children. I don't know if this is going to work, guys, because a lot of them enjoy torturing children. They enjoy torturing us. but I just want to try. I just want to try to appeal to their humanity. This is children. I've often said I'll never ask for mercy for my attackers for myself. When this is children, I would like to ask anybody that's involved in this program murdering us, and probably not the ones that are hurting the children, but any of you other ones who are experimenting on innocent adults, if this goes too far beyond what you knew you were going to be doing, please report that up the chain so that maybe somebody can give these women help and their children help and pull those attackers off of them. I don't know, guys. I just want to throw it out there. I want to do anything possible. You know, when I'm appealing to people's humanity, these people who torture, well, these things that look like humans that that torture us with microwaves, it's not the first people I think of when I want to do an appeal to humanity. But I just want to throw anything out there that could maybe help Autumn and her children and all the other women who have children who are being targeted. Now I'm going to go into some defensive stuff too, so that's not it, but I did just want to say that just on the 1% probability that one of these people on one of these teams might report it up to their manager and say, hey, I didn't know that children were going to be tortured, and it can kind of maybe get something going there. I don't know, but we've got to just throw everything at it. So, Jared Ritter says they killed my dog on my birthday. Yeah, they really hurt my dog really bad. They give her diarrhea. Yeah, Andrew Littleton says, is the ZVS driver still working for you? It is. I've got 2 of them running, Andrew, and it does work. It does work to tone down the external hits. It does work to tone down the remote neural manipulation. The V2K, I got it gone for like a day. A day it was gone for good, but then they raised that up. So I do think that I may have an implant on my left side that's doing the V2K. If not, if they're just doing microwave hearing, they definitely did get the V2K past it, but it's basically toning everything down. Not alone though, right? Because I'm using like Dave Case's CD, I'm using headgear, using this headgear right here, basically 24 hours a day, or when I'm inside. I'm using grounding. Grounding is going to be huge, guys. So I'm using these other things and layering them. In the ZVS drivers, I keep them on all the time. If I turn them off and go shopping or something like that, and I come back, I'll get the attacks will be more intense when I get back. So it's definitely working. However, so the ZVS drivers were giving me a certain percentage of relief at the beginning, and it was a lot more than it is now. So my attackers have adapted past, like 40%. So I'm getting 60% of the relief that I was getting from the ZVS drivers at the beginning now. And that's why we've got to mix and match things, because they will adapt to these. This is a stable field, right? The stable scalar field, but it's not modulated. It doesn't modulate. It doesn't adapt or anything like that. That's what Nicholas is working on. So we're starting out with baby steps with the ZVS driver. That's that's not adapting. It's just it's a stationary scalar field. I try and move them around. So if I move around the field, it tends to make it harder for my attackers to adapt. It switches things up. But Nicholas is working on something where it can maybe modulate sound through it, solfeggio waves, Schumann resonance through it, and then switch it up. I think that's going to be one of our best bets moving forward, is if we can get something like a scalar field, but it has other facets to it that can change and modulate. So we're going to work on that. I don't know how hard that's going to be. I need to talk to Nicholas kind of off of these calls and see what he's got going on. Nicholas says, Faraday cage knocks down strength of signals, and pulse loop has positive vibes to attenuate the rest. Nicholas Hamlin says, like water frozen when love versus hate. Oh, yeah. The water, like if you get frozen water, you put out positive resonance to it, and it has very, very structured a design to it that's very beautiful. And then if you put hate resonance toward it, it's all chaotic and messed up and mutilated. That's why resonance is so important, guys. And Nicholas will tell you too. Hey, Jeannie. Jeannie says, Kyle, oh, tonight you look so great. Really? I looked bad on that that last live stream. I got tired like through the middle of it, and I get pain over here on this side, and I'm kind of just like, I start feeling bad. But I like that. It made me feel like that was a great panel, and I'm gonna do probably tomorrow for New Year's, like New Year's Eve to New Year's. I'm just gonna do a hangout because I don't have a big party to go to or anything like that. I think my mom left some champagne in their place across the way, like across the way in the condo. I might get that champagne, and we'll just go into the new year supporting each other, pulling morale up. We'll do a bunch. Definitely do a panel. We'll definitely do a panel tomorrow, definitely, and we'll just talk about a lot of positive solutions, and we can talk about our targeting too. And hey, Deb, we gotta go into the new year strong, guys. Yeah, Jeannie says hi everybody. Happy New Year 2020. Stay safe and strong. God bless you all. Yeah, I think God's going to bless us this year. But the very, very important thing, and I'm going to talk about some other solutions, is for the children of men or women who are targeted individuals, that we need to find some methods to tone down that pain. And hey, Wayne Morris has a bunch of new videos up, so please go and support his channel. Clara Hill, hi all, I've been raising 3 grandkids last 8 years. I'm almost positive they are test subjects. Yeah, chip, neuromanipulation, and more. Their mom is targeted now, 31, is really, really bad. It's rough. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna go through some things that I think in emergency mode and some defensive things that may be easy to do, that you don't have to put a bunch of headgear on your kids or anything like that, but it'll be things in your environment, and also grounding, like grounding blankets and such, where they can just have it in their sleeping area. So when they go to sleep, you can get them a grounding blanket. They can sleep on that blanket. It's going to make their skin less conductive and at least affect the external hits. Swag Astronomer says, have you heard of neurofeedback, Kyle? Yeah, Swag Astronomer, I think that's what this is, right? I've heard of a neurofeedback loop or biofeedback loop. I guess neurofeedback wouldn't be this. This would be kind of a certain type of like a biofeedback, but you're talking about like some kind of, it's like a therapy where certain frequencies are put, like transcranial stimulated, and then the brain is like feeding back with positive frequencies. I think that could really help us. I think any of that, like TENS units, but what exact, because I'm thinking of TENS units, transcranial stimulation. Is there something specific in hospitals where it's like they put electrodes on the head and then it's like positive neurofeedback that can help with depression, anxiety, and stuff like that? It can probably put a little bit of a break in this biorelevant feedback loop from the vestibular system to the brain and then back. I'm sure you can go to a hospital and get like positive neurofeedback. Hey, Lori Smith says, they don't care, they eat children. Yeah, probably. Yeah, Laurie says they don't care, they eat children probably. There's a bunch of kids here in this HUD that doesn't matter to them, obviously. Yeah, and I get that, guys, but I just, for my attackers, and it could be surveillance role play, they do just seem like ex-soldiers, and they feel like this is their job. The woman on there seems pretty horrified whenever somebody talks about children being tortured. So I'm just doing it in case, and I'm going to say it again, for any, this is for attackers. This is for our attackers, right? And I know, slim chance, right? Slim chance, but I want to do everything. Any of you guys attacking and looking through remote neural monitoring at this video through your the person that you're torturing, there are children being tortured of a lot of the women in this chat room. Please, if you have some kind of chain of command, please complain about that. please do more than complain about it. Come out and talk about it, but at the very least, please complain up the chain of command that children are being tortured, that you didn't sign up for this. If that is the position that you're in, I'm just trying to appeal to anything that we can appeal to. I know that it's ridiculous. I know there's not a great chance of that, but I just want to do some things, maybe formally, trying to appeal to anything that's close to human in the people attacking us, right? Like I've asked my attackers, I've said, you know, if y'all are not good with children being tortured, please report this up the chain. And, you know, I'm sure that they can find out who we all are and see which targeted individuals children are being tortured. I don't know. It's a Hail Mary, right? I don't think that that anything will come of it, but I just want to do everything. And I've got some methods. The problem is this, is that, and this is a very, very important issue. I couldn't stop thinking about it from the last live stream. And I didn't see everything that Autumn was talking about, but I'm pretty sure all of her children are being targeted. And she wants to get them medical help. She wants this stopped, right? That's a reasonable, that's more than reasonable. You want your children to stop being murdered. But I feel like, okay, so she brings them to a doctor and she says, okay, my child's in pain, being hit by neuro weapons, directed energy weapons, then she can get in trouble. The child's not going to get help. The child could maybe be taken away from her because of what she says. So we're not in a good position to find people, doctors, psychiatrists, other that can help those children. We're going to have to fall back on good defenses and solutions to buy time. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping there is a doctor that you can go to and they would know what this is and they could maybe help that. But we want to get this to stop. And there's just nobody, there's no authoritative figures that will help us. So we're going to have to go to some of those solutions, those defensive solutions. And I hate seeing all, I mean, she's stressed out because that's her children. And I'm sure a lot of other, and I'll just say in general, I'm sure there's a lot of other women, target individuals with children. Their children are getting B2K. TC's children, his son gets B2K. You know, so there's tons of targeted individuals who their children are being attacked to. So I want to go through a couple of ideas. A Faraday cage would be pretty ideal, but let me go through some other ideas too. Alice in Texas says, thanks for saying this, Kyle. This is my situation as well. Yeah, I know there's so many women out there where your children are getting hit. And I'm about to go through some more. Hey, Laura. I'm missing all y'all's chats. I'm way behind. Okay. So Generation has a good one. Psychiatrist that can be contacted, Dr. Seth Farber and Dr. Rima LeBeau. Okay. Generation says Dr. Peter Bregan, psychiatrist, can also be contacted. Yeah, and I know those. Okay, we might as well. I know Dr. Seth Farber. I know Dr. Peter Bregan. And I'm sure they will help targeted individuals as much as they can. Right. I'm sure they will help them as much as they can. Nicholas Hamlin says a portable EKG monitor would pick up evidence. Yeah, from what they're doing to our heart. Okay, let me go through some things, guys. Just real quick, I wanted to show you all this, and I want to show you all the page where I saw it. So this right here is a lead head covering, neck covering that I just got from China. It was like $50. I'm going to show you all the page, and I'm not going to put it on now. I'm going to use it when I sleep, but you put it on, your face kind of sticks out here. It doesn't have a lot of guard I guess that's a little bit for the neck. So I just got this, and I'm going to try it out like tonight, but like I used a lot of stuff that's kind of keeping my attackers away from my vestibular system. I don't want to put this on right now. It was $50. Let me show you all that real quick. It's very heavy. It's very clunky. I think a lot of targeted individuals have tried these, but I wanted to try layering it with my less EMF headgear. This, like a hat like this, like a less EMF hat for somebody's child, I think would be a good idea. You can just get them a little hat, and it does have material that blocks it out a little bit. But I'm thinking that grounding, the ZVS driver, and then the emergency thing of get those packs of gel, cool them down. If your child is ever getting targeted so badly and their body's heating up and the pain so severe, cool their head with one of those things. When the body cools down, all of this stuff kind of lowers in intensity. So that's a huge one right there. Let me show you all this, guys. Show you all this lead cap. It's a lead cap with, let me see what it has in it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, and this is where I got it from, guys. This is AliExpress. This is a cheap X-ray protective 0.5 mmPb. I guess that's parts lead or whatever. Lead rubber head and neck thyroid protection cap. So I'm going to try it out when I sleep. It's $46.85. You see they have lead undergarments, you know, for your junk. So Kevin Christian and probably everybody is getting hit in their junk. That would be a good solution. I might try something like that instead of my copper scrubbies that I have on all the time. Copper scrubbies work. It's a good deterrent. It's a very, very good deterrent. It's like you have those copper scrubbies right by your groin, and it's like any kind of directed energy pointed there, the copper scrubbies soak it up. Soak it up, and it goes to them instead of the point they're trying to hit. But you see, this was, it's a, what is it called? Cheap X-ray protective lead rubber head and neck thyroid protection cap. It's $46.85 from AliExpress. I'll put this link in the description right here. It's pretty heavy. It's kind of a heavy material, but I can see once I put it on my head earlier, and it's not too bad. I'm thinking when I lay down for sleeping, it'd be really good because the back of my head won't need to be guarded as much. And I can kind of lay on my back and then put on these protective less EMF glasses. But I can't find those anywhere. It's like somebody stole them. Okay, so check that out. I don't know if that's a solution for a child that's being targeted. I guess if they're going to sleep, it could be. You could put it on them before they go to sleep. But I did want to show this. This is what I think is going to be the most important thing. If you have a child, if you're a targeted individual, woman or man, you've got a child that's also being targeted, I think that your primary focus should be on something like this. On grounding solutions. On grounding solutions, because when you ground the body, it's going to affect remote neural manipulation, remote neural monitoring, V2K. It's going to affect external hits and everything like that. So this is very expensive. This is $239. This earthing grounded silver plush pad kit, you could maybe buy it and then put it on your child's bed and then just have them lay on this every night, or even like bring it around the house, you know, when they're hanging out, and just make sure they stay grounded. You know, grounding is going to be very important. I know these aren't the greatest solutions. What would be ideal is for this to stop, right? We want this to stop. We want doctors that can help them, and we want, you know, to treat what's happened to the body once this does stop. But that's why, you know, y'all understand that, right? That's why I'm always talking about these solutions, because nobody is helping us right now. That's what we're trying to get. We're trying to get an ideal thing. And I just think that if you start in with some of these, it's not going to be great. It's not going to be a great situation. You're probably still going to be worried about your child if they're hearing V2K or their body's hurting from the external hits, but at least you could start neutralizing it, right? And then the earthing, like the earthing pad kit, you know, you could use it also. Universal mat, that's pretty, let's see if there's anything cheaper than that. But I'd really check out earthing.com. This earthing sticky mat kit, $69.99. Let's go back to the home page here and see real quick. I think y'all can see it once I bring it up on screen. Let's see. I'll go back. Let's go to the home page. The earthing straps could work too. I have 3 on my left leg right now, and I wear them all the time. And it stops a lot of the pain of the left side of my body. It also stops a lot of the external hits from really hurting me too bad. I'm saying if you have a child that you think is being targeted, and Autumn's like sure of it, you know, and I'm sure a lot of you women who are targeted, you're sure if your child's being targeted. I'd say grounding. Then the ZVS driver, you might want to get to work on that, because I'll tell you, my dog used to go sleep in the middle of the condo, or like near the bathroom or in the leather chair. Now, since I have the 2 ZVS drivers running, she sleeps in the doorway. She gets closer and closer to it. So, and I'm not trying to equate a dog to a human child, but I'm just saying I can't like put a hat on my dog or anything like that, because she would shake out of it. So it's something that you can place in your environment, and then it can just attenuate the entire environment, right? That's going to be one of the best things. And then of course, the Faraday bunker type thing, which I'm thinking a really good solution that's cheap, is the grow tent. Let me look that up, but let me go through a couple more things with grounding. Let's see if there's some all the kits for sleep, so they have some pillows and stuff like that. I would think the grounding straps would be very, very good. I think they're the cheapest thing. A lot of these are way too expensive. I think this grounding stuff can be done, you know, more cheaply. This isn't bad. You get two body bands for like, it used to be like $35, but I think a lot more people are starting to buy them. So now they're like $90. Starter kit, so you get a grounding mat. I wouldn't buy. All the books and stuff. I don't know. I wouldn't need that kind of stuff. A half sheet kit, so you get it. You can ground a sheet, and place it over your child, right? There are some blankets too. Some very good, like less EMF blankets. Let me look up one real quick. But so check out the grounding, and just whatever you think that maybe would work with your child. If you think that the body bands would maybe work for your child better, or you think like the grounding blanket, like just a small grounding blanket, not a full size, but since it is a child, maybe it would cover the whole area of their body, and you can just put it where they sleep, so at least they're attenuating that out. They're stopping the conductivity of their skin at night. I know these are not the solutions that a lot of mothers that have children they're targeting want. You want this to stop. You want a doctor that can help. You just want this stuff stopped. I understand that, but I'm just trying to offer anything that can stop some of that pain. And then of course, this sounds so simple. I don't use it enough, but if you're getting hit really hard with this stuff, even the B2K is a lot, and you get those gel pads that you freeze, that is a great emergency, great emergency solution to put the cooling like right on the front of your head, because as your head and your brain cool down, while your brain really wouldn't be cooling down, but your head would be cooling down, your whole body is going to cool down, and then it's going to tone down all the attacks. What was I going to do next? I was going to go to, I can't remember. Well, let me get my tablet open, guys, so I can see y'all's comments, because I need to read some chat if you guys have some solutions that I'm not. Oh, I wanted to look up the grow tent. That's right. Just throwing some things out that I think the grounding would be a good thing to start with. If you have a child that's really hurting from the external hits and stuff like that, because you're gonna start, you know, reducing the conductivity of their skin, and then you can see how they feel after that. After, you know, 2 weeks of using that, using the cooling you know, the gel packs and stuff like that, then maybe I would work on doing some of these things. And Nicholas is going to be trying to come up with some better solutions. But for now, like the ZVS driver can attenuate an entire area. And the attackers do adapt past it, but you keep a little bit. They plateau out. It still helps from where I was getting like not 100% relief from my targeting, but say that was at 100% power, right? It was at 100% power doing its defense thing, and then and now it's at about 60%, 60% effectiveness. They've adapted past like 40%. For me, some people they've adapted more, like 60%, and they have 40% protection left. But mixing and matching these things is going to be a good idea. I'm just trying to think of the cheapest stuff I can think of. You know, just the cheapest things. You know, you got a throw blanket, and that's way too expensive. These might be good. I've never tried these, but you could put some socks on your kid, or like a band on the arm and ground it at night. Or these mats, and then the sheets. The sheets are pretty expensive. The half sheet kit for $89.99. So I would start with something like either the earthing body band kit, or like a half sheet kit, or this thing, or a mat, or this. It seems like the cheapest starting point is going to be like $90. That's not that great. That's not cheap enough. But just some ideas, you know. Let me read y'all's chats. See if y'all got anything else. I know Nicholas is thinking about a bunch of stuff. MM's TI Strategy Guide says, there is a link to a doctor who can cure Morgellon, which is used for R&M. Start using citrus in baths and cleaning. Okay, so in the cleansing too, the Epsom salt baths, and then the borax baths, borax with that bentonite clay, or borax with tea tree oil soap. Those things to really cleanse the skin. And you know, maybe some potassium iodide and things like that. So Tanya said next needs our help. Had you heard? Did he text you, Tanya? Did next text you? Is he doing okay? How can we help him? You guys let me know what's going on with Next. Let me know how I can help. Generation says to get to sleep, valerian root and pills or extract with water or eat. Yeah, Tanya said Kyle Next needs help. Did he text you? We'll talk about that. Email me, Tanya. And I'll try and help him out as much as I can. Nicholas Hamlin says it's possible that a loop of wire around the room with an 8, what is that? An 8 by 300 watt? I don't know how to read that, Nicholas. Something 300 watt resistor connected to a 300 watt mono amplifier would create an induction loop and pulse good vibes strong enough. So you have to run the loop of wire all around the room and then connect it to a mono amplifier. Okay, we'll look into that. I'll see how it works, and I can maybe, do a video on it. Oh, yeah, Eminem, you're saying there's a link to a doctor who can cure Morgellons, which is used for R&M, starting using citrus in baths and cleaning. Yeah, and everybody look out for Charlie. Look out for Charlie's page. Yeah, Wayne, that's totally right. Wayne Moore says the fact these products are mass produced proves targeting exists. And the fact that these products are going up in price because so many people buy them. So many people buy these products, they're out of stock, right? A lot of these things go out of stock. It proves that tons of people are trying these consumer-based products that are defending. Bigger markets are being created to defend against this stuff, right? That's very hopeful for us. But it, it costs money to get this stuff, which a lot of us, I mean, this thing was like $50, right? And I'll probably wear it when I sleep, but I'm gonna mix and match it with my other stuff. It gets annoying. I'm sure it's gonna get really annoying to wear this thing every night, But it kind of smells. I guess it just smells like rubber. It smells weird. Tanya says, Happy New Year, everyone. Yeah, and I told everybody, Tanya, I'm going to do like a hangout tomorrow night for New Year's Eve to the new year. So we'll hang out on here because I don't have anywhere else to go. Okay, so Lisa Marie Tattersall says the polarized magnets really work and the necklaces are only about $40. Where is that from, Lisa Marie? Yeah, magnets can work. The only thing with a child, and I know these are things that we can use also, but I would say with magnets, with children, don't use those huge like 400-pound pull neodymium magnets by the head of a child, because a child's brain is still developing, and there's some things that I've learned about magnets because the human brain puts out its own electromagnetic field. So I would not, for a child who is targeted, use one of those huge 400-pound pull neodymium magnets. Now maybe the little ones like the 25-pound pull, put a stack of those together and maybe put them by their ears, maybe a stack of 4 on each side, which you can get from Applied Magnets. What are some other good places where you can get magnets? Nicholas Hamlin says, I'm working on how strong an amplifier and how many parallel or series loops are necessary to generate a 20 to 50 microtesla. I think that's microtesla field. That's awesome, Nicholas. I got to talk to you about some of the specifics and like write them down so maybe I can try them too. After you try them, I can put some stuff together. We can both see how it works and kind of compare. And then I have a friend in Canada who is very, very good with electronics. He can try it too, so that maybe we can, all 3 of us can use it, see how it works for each of us, and kind of communicate that way. I feel like that's the best thing to do, is get a bunch of people using it, so it's not like, oh, I'm just using it, oh, it works great. We get a bunch of people using it, we'll see if it works or doesn't work, or does it work better for some people, not as good for others, or does it work better for some people? Yeah, better for some people, not as good for others. I really do think that like something like a ZVS driver would be a good, and you want to keep your child away from it, right? Because the testicles do get hot. So you'd want it up where they can't reach it, but it can make a big area of the room attenuated. And that's what I found is best for protecting, my dog, which is not a human child. So I'm not comparing, but it's something where she'll come around it because it's giving her relief. She's getting some of the electromagnetic fields that my attackers are creating, in my environment. And so something that can attenuate a whole area is going to be a really good thing. Also, I think grounding, right? I've said grounding a million times, but I think you can, if you have a nice little blanket that your child can just have that blanket on when they're watching TV, and it's plugged into your grounding, and it's going to be making their skin less conductive and really affecting anything that the Satanists who are doing it to them, affecting, toning that down. Hey, politically persecuted Bristol, UK says Happy New Year, Tanya. Jeannie says, Nicholas, that's a good idea, but I'm afraid I might do some electrical thing and end up messing myself. Yeah. I mean, I did the ZVS drivers, and I'm not too great at electronic stuff. So some of this stuff, if a bunch of us can do it and then just teach others to do it, it's not that dangerous. We just kind of get a protocol for doing it. We say, hey, if you have those Tesla coils, make sure you put a plate under them and then put it in a high place. If you do have children, maybe put something around it so that nobody touches it or anything like that. Yeah, Lost Year says, Lisa Marie, I will try that. I'm broke but desperate. Yeah. Yeah, magnets really work. I would just be careful with the big ones. Like, I guess if you're an adult targeted individual, you can get like a 400 or a 600 pound pull magnet, neodymium magnet from Applied Magnets, and put it near your head when you sleep. But you're going to want to be very careful with that, because remember that the human brain has its own natural electromagnetic field, right? So if you're always if you're messing with that natural electromagnetic field with a bunch of magnets, it can do some weird things to your brain. But it can also defend, right? So I think what I always think is like split the difference, right? Get some of the smaller magnets and put them in the problem spots. You get the 25-pound pull, a stack of 4 right next to your ears, because your ears are going to be this pathway to the brain. They're also going to be doing stuff around the head. But think about it, if you have 4 25-pound pull neodymium magnets on this side and this side, you're going to be creating this, repulsion of that electromagnetic field, and it's not such a super strong magnet that it can mess up your natural frequencies of your brain. That's something we really need to be careful about, is messing up the natural frequencies of our brain. There was something else too, the grow tents. I'm gonna look more into that, the grow tents, because I kind of want to try that, and then I want to add stuff around it, and then maybe ground the outside of the grow tent. So I'm going to kind of be looking into that. Okay. So Nicholas Hamlin says, using additional passive and active loops, I believe I can shape and concentrate the field to keep it between the ceiling and the ground. Okay, Tanya, I think Tanya's talking about next. He really needs help. A letter on YouTube. I can't find it now, Kyle. How can we get a hold of him? I have his text. I texted him like like after he stopped his channel, we texted back and forth a little while, but then I texted him, and I don't think he wanted to talk. So so I haven't heard from him since. I can shoot him a text, but I don't know, like, because he says he's been betrayed by people that he thought were TIs, and I'm not sure I'm one of those people who he doesn't like. I don't know. I mean, I'll try and get in touch with him. I tried to support him with that channel, man. I know there are so many targeted individuals that love him. I wish that he would just focus on that, because every targeted individual is kind of betrayed and has people that they're suspicious of and stuff like that. And you've really got to focus on the targeted individuals that you're close to, you have great discernment about. You got to keep your focus on them, because every targeted individual has people that maybe they don't trust, or and that kind of thing. Let me see if I can look it up. I'll read it because we're just hanging out right now. What time did I start this, you guys? My main focus, I did want to show you all this, and then I just wanted to go over some ideas that would maybe work for a child that's getting targeted better than some of the things that we're using, right? Because I don't think you're going to be able to get a child who's targeted to listen to Dave Case's CD. Maybe you can. If you can, I'd try that. The noise canceling hearing aids, I don't think that's going to work for a child too well, but I think that the grounding, the ice packs, the ZVS driver, the grounding, especially grounding, and then maybe some smaller magnets by the ears for V2K, and I'm going to try some of I'm going to do some new experimentation with magnets, some very, very cheap ones, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, Tanya says, next level, you are our angel. Okay. Yeah, Jeannie says, if you can't afford those things, you can walk with shoes on the ground for a while. Yeah, and just ground the natural way. Okay, Deb Full of Grace says, Nicholas, would you make a ZVS driver for other targeted individuals? I would maybe, in Deb, it's super, super easy. What I'm going to do, Deb, is I'm going to put those ZVS driver videos like in a collection, in a playlist. And it's real easy. I mean, because I've said exactly what you need to get. It's pretty easy if you just follow the instructions. But yeah, maybe Nicholas will do it too. I would, Deb, because you're really awesome. You come up with a lot of great defensive solutions. I know you're getting targeted really bad. I really want to do that. It's just, if anything, like, I don't know. Let's see if Nicholas will do that. I'm going to talk to you about that, Deb, though. Email me about that if you want to try the ZVS driver, and I'll try and work something out with you. Swag Astronomer says neurofeedback controls brain waves and can even change people's personalities, anger, depression, maybe give temporary amnesia, etc. That's what the perps are using. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I call it remote neural manipulation. Like remote neural monitoring, remote neural manipulation. It's a bidirectional stream of energy that's picking up signals and then it's putting back signals to the brain. So I call that neural feedback. I've been calling it since like, years ago, remote neural manipulation. But yeah, exactly. They have everything. Good grief. Yeah. Okay. Nicholas Hamlin said this would run cool and be safe for pets and kids. So you're talking about with the wires kind of around the room, that then you could hook up to an oscillator. Okay. I wanted to look up the okay, Nicholas Hamlin says it's just a stereo, except I'm using a loop of speaker wire instead of a speaker. The wire and amplifier are strung on the ceiling out of the way. Lisa Marie Tattersall says, I have a complete bed set that I sleep on that has a ton of polarized magnets and I feel great and it works. Okay, that's awesome. Complete bed set that I sleep on that it has a ton of polarized magnets and I feel great and it works. So magnets definitely work. Magnets definitely work. And actually, the neodymium magnets that I put by my ear work the best for B2K out of everything that I've tried. Like tone down the B2K consistently for long periods of time. But the big magnets I'm just careful with, like the 600-pound pull magnets. I don't want to put them by my head all the time because it does mess with your brain's natural electromagnetic fields. But they definitely work. Oh yeah, magnets are a very, very great solution. Jackie Kelly, hey Jackie Kelly. Jackie Kelly says, I needed to hear this because they are using high beam headlights with dews that hit the car. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Wayne, you tried to text next. I'll try and text him tonight. He just like we texted after his channel, and then I texted him a couple of times, but he didn't respond back. And then I kind of just got busy with my channel and stuff like that. I'll text him again and see if maybe he wants to talk. I guess we can read his message. Do you think he'd want me to do that, Tanya? You guys, Wayne and Tanya and anybody that knows Next, do you think that Next would want me to read his YouTube post? Wayne says zucchini chipmunk. Okay, yes, okay. Yeah, I think I can find it. Let's see. Let's just go to his channel, right? We'll just go to his channel. Yeah, we'll just hang out. I'm trying to think, and while I think of anything else that I want to go over, but I don't want to do a panel tonight, guys. My stomach still really hurts, but I'm going to do one tomorrow. We're going to go into the New Year's with the panel, with hanging out and supporting each other and talking about stuff. I really just, the Autumn's children being targeted, I can't get it out of my head. And I'm just trying to think of anything. I know they're not solutions that probably Autumn wants to stop. She wants her children to stop being tortured, but I'm just trying to think of anything that could attenuate their pain. I know they probably don't know what's going on, and they have a hard time, relaying to their mom what's happening to them. So it's got to be awful. I mean, just having my dog hurt, where my dog, and I'm not equating my dog to human children, but just that is terrifying. So I can't even imagine it for my kids. Well, my parents are targeted, and they won't tell me what's going on. So I can kind of understand. I can understand people, being targeted, but I can't really help them as much as I want to. So let's see, where's this post? So it'd be in his community. Okay, so let's read this. Wait, I'm gonna bring it up on the screen. Hold on. Okay, so we'll read this, and then we'll read the comments too. Are y'all sure that Next would want me to read this? I'm sure he's okay with this. So maybe all the people who have been missing him and want to help him, they can have a better chance of helping him out. Okay, yeah. Sometimes I don't want to do. I'm just not sure, because some targeted individuals are like, no, I did that, But I think he'd be okay with this. Okay, so Next Level, 4 hours ago, 2019 came and it knocked me down so many times. When it did, I got back up, and then boom, right back down again. From the East to the West Coast, I learned some valuable lessons about what I'm going through, about this TI community that I once loved here on YouTube and in the real world, about myself and my life, and about trust, about hurt and pain. I was fooled time and time again by many people who I believe was going through what I've been enduring through for my whole life. I got burned by a lot of these people who acted like they really cared about the whole time, but they didn't. And now that everything is said and done, I can see that now. I just like, because I'm a real target individual. I have my channel. I support his channel. I guess he's not talking about me. I hope he's not talking about me. And Next, I'm a real targeted individual. I do care about you, and like I was supporting you fully. You have people that really love you and support you. Try and focus on those people, and not the people who maybe were fake and stuff like that. Okay, didn't know that everything is said and done. I can see that now. It was all a part of this sick game, sort of like the Truman Show. People who pretend like they are TIs, people who profess to be Christians and love God, people who I considered friends, people who I loved and admired. For the most part, it was all a sick mind F, almost all of it. Well, see, all the setups and setbacks, I can't count. It's so many. These people were not my friends, nor did they ever give a rat's ass about me as a person, and I understand that now. Has the targeting slowed down any since I last posted a video? Absolutely not. I don't know how much more of this I can take, or how much longer I have here in this world anymore. My heart has been broken in more ways that you can ever imagine, and I honestly don't think anyone really cares. When your environment is controlled every step of the way, not for your benefit, when your mind and life is constantly being hacked and programmed, full of fake love and hate, even from your own blood, where do you go from there? Can anyone answer that? Like I'll talk about this afterwards, but I experienced all this stuff too. Like we all do as targeted individuals. My answer is you move forward. You move forward, you do the most positive things you can, you get around targeted individuals that you can trust. But it's hard, right? You have to take breaks and stuff like that. So, I mean, but you move forward. Like you move forward. And he is, and Next is. He's doing what he needs to do to figure out his situation. I do hope that he comes back. His panels were great. If he could do panels all the time, like, and I'm not sure what his plans are, but it would be really great. Let me continue with this. Okay, so how do you pick up the pieces and move forward? How do you pick up the pieces and move forward if everybody in your life is only out to gain from your suffering? Filling your head up with lies and stories every time, just setting you up to fall again and again. Out to pump your heart full of fear every time you turn around. I don't know what to think anymore. I don't know what to believe. What I do know is that I don't want to play this sick game anymore. I never wanted any of this in the first place. That's not what I wanted to do. I'll try and post something soon. So next, if you're out there, buddy, here's one real targeted individual that loves you a lot. And I appreciate everything that you've done on YouTube and beyond at the rallies and everything. And I'll be here for you, man. There's betrayals, there's fake TIs, there's stuff like that. But you're moving forward. You just got to figure things out. You got to figure things out. I don't know if I want to read all the comments. I guess he's okay. He responded back. Should I read his responses? I don't know if do y'all think he'll want me to do that? He's saying, I hope everything is okay for you and thank you for these kind words. Peace and blessings to you. Y'all think, man, do you think he wants me to read all of his private responses on his posts? I might not do that. I might just read, because I'm not sure, because he's writing private responses to everybody. I'm not sure if he wants me to put it out in a video. I think the post is okay, but you guys go and check out the post. And Next is responding back to people. So if you do want to contact him, go ahead and leave a comment on the post, and he'll communicate with you. So that's awesome. That's really awesome. But I don't want to go through his private response. He may not be ready for that, to put that all out on YouTube. So I just want to be careful with that, because he's gotten burned and stuff like that. And I don't want it to make it seem like I'm trying to get views or something off of his situation. I just want to be very careful, because I care about him, and I just want to do what's right. But I think reading the post was okay. So Wayne Moore says, next, let's kick off the streams again. We are here, bro. I'm 100%. Yeah, I'm 100% a targeted individual. Usually the way that I get through, because like my life sucks and it's really painful and hard to get through this stuff. I try and focus on like how many women and children out there are being targeted and tortured. And then that kind of fuels me to like, okay, well, this isn't about, it's not all about my pain, right? That kind of helps me, where it's just like, it's not like my life sucks. I get betrayed. My family doesn't really understand. But when I start saying, wait, there are women and children out there being tortured. I gotta do this. I've got to help them. It takes it in a different direction. It gives you more strength. Because I think that if we do look at what's happened to us, you can't deal with it. You can't deal with the awfulness. I mean, I had people gang stalking me today in the Walmart, just treat me like I was this idiot, like at the pharmacy. One of the pharmacists, or not the main pharmacist, but this pharmacist lady, like she was like, get your ID out. Like she was treating me like just like I was this mentally retarded person or something. I don't even know her, and I was just mistreated. And I was like, I've gone through all this stuff, and it seemed like she had heard something about me. It seemed like gang stalking. But I was like, she just doesn't understand. She just doesn't understand the society she lives in. I'm going to go help those people that do understand the society they live in. I'm going to help them to reduce their pain and things like that. Really helps, guys. Like, because, if I'm alone and I'm thinking this happened to me and the pain I'm going through right now, and this and this and this and this and this and this, and then it's this weight that you can't get up from. But if you're kind of like sidestepping it and you're like, oh man, I'm going to help these people who are maybe in more pain, or they don't have any money to buy defense, or this or that, or they have children that are being targeted, you can kind of propel yourself. You can kind of squeeze yourself out of that, of how terrible this is. It's so terrible we can't deal with this stuff psychologically in our mind. We have to adapt new ways. Like Nicholas Hammond was saying, there's abnormal psychology on the negative side, but we're going to have to develop some abnormal psychology on the positive side for surviving this. There's nothing traditional set up that can just like there's traditional things in psychology that can help us, but we're going to have to invent some ways of healing our mind and helping people and things like that have never been invented. But next, if you're watching this next, I'm going to go ahead. I'll text you after this and just see if you're okay. I'm just not sure, like, if I'm one of the people that he thinks betrayed him. So, and just to be honest, like, that's not saying anything bad about Next. I'm just saying when you start getting betrayed by everybody, it's hard to trust anyone. So even people who do really have your best interest at heart, you may not trust them. So I'll text them and stuff like that. I haven't gotten, me and Nex have always been cool, and I've never gotten that feeling like I'm one of the people who he thinks, burn him or was lying to him or anything like that. I've never gotten that feeling, but I don't know. It's like when you because I felt that today. I said that I was like, man, I don't trust anybody. How am I going to do this? Because it gives you that feeling going through. We all deal with that feeling. My best solution right now is to move up the field. People are going to sidewind you and stuff, and you just keep going up the field. So they'll sidewind you. You get knocked a little bit this way. You keep going this way. You find the people that are with you. You keep passing the ball this way and that to your friends who you have good discernment about. And they're just going to be people sidewinding us. We've got to build up a thick skin, but not completely cut out people in our lives who there are good, compassionate people in this world. That's a bottom line. There are good, compassionate people in this world, targeted individual and normal people. We've got to find those people. We got to use our discernment to find them and never give up that those people, God will place those people in your path. Never, ever, ever give up on that. And next, I want to tell you that never give up, that those good people who have your best interest at heart, who love you, who want to see you do good, never lose faith that God will put them in your path. Touchdown. Yeah, Deb Full of Grace says touchdown. I don't know how close we are, but it's like, what are we getting close to what, right? A solution that stops 100% of this, the program stopping, getting more help from doctors, more psychiatrists understanding this. There's many, many things that can be called a touchdown, right? So, we've got a lot of things that we're working on that are going to get us to this mode. So, I guess we think of the program ending as the touchdown, but there are many, many other solutions to helping us that maybe aren't the entire program stopping, that it'll just blast us through the stratosphere. Blast us through the stratosphere. We'll be feeling more morale, we'll have less pain and everything like that. There's many things, and there's many things that I don't even see that God has in store that I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was a solution for what we have going on here, and I know that's for certain. I'm 100% God's got something coming up for us that I'm going to be like, I had no clue. I had no clue that something like that was going to happen, to help us out. Okay, so Tanya says, yes, Cal, you're right. Look for real people. Next, please come back to us. Well, he is. Tanya, he is. He said he's going to post some more stuff, and he's answering posts. So everybody can kind of make sure he's okay. Okay, I will, Jeannie. Jeannie says, please, Kyle, give my cell number to Next. I am a professional counselor. I can help. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, David Irwin says, I trust Jesus. I believe in people still. I believe in people because I know how I am. Like, I know that I'm a good person and I'm not going to do anything wrong, and I'm not going to betray an American or any human being, especially if they're being tortured. So if I exist, other me's have to exist out there, right? So if you're a good person, just by your own existence, you can say, yeah, people like me exist. Now, not everybody's going to be like you, right? There are people who could give a crap and they don't have a conscience and they'll hurt people. But there's also the other side, you know. I still have faith in people. I think as targeted individuals, we have people put around us that are negative and stuff like that in this little circle around us. So it just seems like the whole world has gone evil. But outside of that circle, we got to reach outside of that circle. And there's a lot of normal people. And then within that circle, not the circle of negative people being projects, but other targeted individuals that we're fighting with. I know, like, I mean, everybody that I'm looking at in the chat room, I can't think of one person that I think is fake. Yeah, I can't. There's nobody. I know there's cyber stalkers, there's infiltrators. I guess it's becoming easier for fake TIs to just learn what we're talking about and then have a good cover story or whatever. But I'd rather keep trusting people and just get burnt a little bit, but then have a bunch of successful relationships. You know, it's going to help me more to rebuild myself constantly. That'd be cool, man. Yeah, next, if you're watching and you do, I don't know your situation, man, but you come back and do some of those panels, man. I think you get back into the swing of things, and you can stay guarded. You don't have to talk to everybody. You say, hey, email me. And if you don't feel comfortable about that person, you don't have to give them your number or anything like that. You can just maybe find a new way of communicating with people and stuff like that. Hey, Rick M. Rick M says, Kyle, you are a good person. Look at the people you attract in this chat. Polite, loving people. Yeah, yeah, man. And that's why, like, that panel on Saturday, I was like, this is, y'all want me to nerd out a little bit? And I said, I was like, this is the beginning of, you know, that part in Endgame where Captain America is facing down that army, and then the Falcon goes on your left, and there's that whole army coming in. I just feel like that's going to happen, guys. And if you make a channel, remember, I always say this, if you make a channel, you're going to get like-minded targeted individuals. So you saw that panel, it's a bunch of really smart dudes, pretty heady dudes. We all are kind of brainy, but also with faith too. And it's great. It's great. It's how I found targeted individuals that are more like me. So this is possible. This is possible to get good people around you, to get strong people. All you guys are great. You balance logic with faith. You know, we believe that we can figure things out with certain solutions and give some of it to God. This is how we do it. We create these nodes, right? These nodes of communication. You're going to get all these like-minded, targeted individuals around. And I mean, I swear to you guys, this is just my YouTube channel that I started in 2014 or 2013 or whatever on my own. It took me 6 years or yeah, it's going to be about 6 years to build it up to like 2,700 people, subscribers. That's a long time. It took a long time to get to 2,700 subscribers, right? For me, because I was like 5 of those years, it hadn't really started going. The last couple of years, everything's been kind of popping. And you see some channels like Targeted Citizen, you know, his channel's building up very, very fast, way faster than my channel built up. And that's especially why I want to do these panels and I want to have this chat room. If you have a channel, promote it, and we can maybe do this faster, right? Than building up a channel over 6 years. If we can get some of these bigger channels to support the smaller channels starting up of what you want to do, what you want to talk about, then we can do this faster and build up all these channels. I don't know if YouTube is our future. As a matter of fact, I know it's not. I know that YouTube is going to become more and more censored. It's already been censoring us throughout this whole thing. We still got to use it to the utmost, train here. Like I'm not talking about like experimentation. We train as targeted individuals, strength training, information training, maybe save our videos, do BitChute, do some other things. But we learn how to talk about it, and we learn how to organize our network, because we need a network. We need to do networking. Networking is number one. You got these big organizations like Freedom for Targeted Individuals, Targeted Justice, you know, Dr. Horton's organization, Stop 007, a bunch of other ones. But we also, as individual targeted individuals, need to learn how to intelligently, while guarding ourselves, network our projects, network what we want to get out there. And we've got to use each other's little informational nodes, networking, because even these big, like my attackers, or you know, the people shooting the microwaves at me and using the neuro weapons on me, they network with other contractors in this to learn best practices. They also help each other out, right? These evil people. And if these evil people can help each other out, then we as good people, we need to be helping each other out in networking, right? The trust thing is a big deal, and I completely understand that. I completely understand that because like I have a hard time trusting people. Like especially if I don't see them, if I don't see that they have a video or something, I'm like, who is this person? I don't know them. I was gonna say something. Also, the deal is that every human emotion is contagious. So happiness is contagious, and trust is contagious, and faith is contagious, and all these things are contagious, but the negative ones are contagious. So paranoia is contagious, mistrust is contagious, fear is contagious, like all these things. And we're people who have been hit really hard as targeted individuals, right? So we get into these groups and everybody is kind of mistrusting, justifiably so. That spreads to people. You know, we have to find a way to increase our resonance, find a way to still trust people while stay protected, right? Do it smart. I don't see another way. You know, we are literally, we are Captain America in Endgame, where he's staring down that army. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen that somebody goes on your left, and then we're gonna have all these people joining, right? We're just opening up the battle. We're opening up the battle because we're not gonna be able to take this on like our whole lives and everything. More people who are not targeted are gonna be joining in this fight and everything like that. We've got to open that up, keep fighting so that the people who do join us, you know, they'll have a place to come and fight, or not a place, but they'll know what they're fighting. It's going to happen. Like this battle will be joined. And I think there's even a chance of maybe some of these people, gang stalkers and neuro weapons, the people shooting the neuro weapons, maybe coming forward in the future and talking about some of these crimes. You know, I don't know how it's going to work, but I really believe that. I really think so. Yeah, Deadpool of Gray says positivity. Lost Year says love. Positivity, love, faith, kindness, compassion, empathy. Sometimes we get burnt out. Everybody's hurting so bad, so it's hard to be as empathetic as you want to be. But we've got to pass that. That's a big problem. The mistrust spreads. Like, but it's justified. I'm not saying like, oh, it's just this fake thing, right? It's not just this fake thing. We have a justification to mistrust people. I feel like when things become less compartmentalized and all these people really understand, the people doing it to us, the evil people doing it, understand exactly how big of a scale this is, especially maybe some of the infiltrators. And I noticed this the other night. I noticed that in the chat room, there were a bunch of real TIs talking about really intelligent stuff. And then there was like one kind of TI that I thought was maybe kind of fake, because they were talking about some very left field stuff. Now I know that some real TIs do talk about left field stuff, but I'm just going to use this as an example. Let's just say that because I'm using a general example, I'm not going to say any names or anything. Let's just say that one TI that was talking about way left field stuff that kind of made us all look kind of nutty, they're talking to 20 real TIs that are speaking very intelligently. I noticed that person in the chat that was talking in the left about the left field stuff kind of just left, because there was too much intelligent conversation to overwhelm anybody who's coming in and trying to make us look crazy, right? So as we get our numbers up and we speak intelligently, these people who are trying to discredit us, they don't have a chance. It's going to be like the numbers are going to be off. The numbers are going to be off because they're going to have one person to put in the chat room or two people to put in the chat room. We're going to have a chat room of like 60 real targeted individuals who are more educated about this stuff, can speak intelligently about this stuff, can speak about our faith, can speak about the logistics of it, the physicality of it, and they're going to look dumb. Those people, they're going to look, it's just going to be, it's going to stick out like a sore thumb, right? Whereas in the past, there were so many infiltrators and not a whole lot of TIs were kind of confused on stuff. So it all kind of mixed in and was chaotic. As targeted individuals learn more about what's going on and we can have a common language, all those people that are trying to make us look stupid or mentally ill, they stick out like a sore thumb. They say things that everybody in the group's going to be like, that's no, we're talking about intelligent stuff. We're not talking about, and I know this is left field stuff, but you know what I'm saying. And the guy we're talking about like aliens from some planet doing this to us, something like that. Thank you, Tanya. Yeah, I would. I mean, I really, and man, I hope Nex is doing all right. I'm gonna definitely try and text him, but I think he's okay because he's responding to people in his comments. So that's really good. Oh. How long have I been going for? Like an hour and a half or so? So, Erica Nerio says, being told to leave a business without legal reasons can be grounds for a discrimination lawsuit. Yeah. Yes. Rick M. Yes, we TIs are becoming more savvy, no doubt. Sophisticated and savvy. We have to be sophisticated. And I see targeted individuals becoming more sophisticated all the time. Just the way that we deal with things, you can deal with them in a certain way where you're not leaving yourself open. You are leaving yourself open to the right people. You're speaking about intelligent information, giving all that information to any targeted individual that can use it, but not opening yourself up to get hit by some, cyber stalker or whatever. I feel like the safeguards are important, that we keep going along. Like let's say a targeted individual came into these groups and said, hey, I'm just going to give out my phone number on the chats and on the conference calls and everything like that, because they have all my information. So I'm just going to give out my phone number. They're going to give out their phone number, and a bunch of like infiltrators are going to start calling them. They're going to be talking to a bunch of infiltrators saying, whoa, this whole community is full of infiltrators, right? They're going to see it from a certain perspective, right? That targeted individual is going to get overwhelmed by people who maybe are not real targeted individuals, and they're going to get, they're going to be like, wow, this is all a lie, and all TIs are just liars. There's not enough real TIs in here. But you see, because they didn't play it smart, they got slammed, and then they see it from a certain perspective. So if you can do things smart, you can see things from the right perspective. You'll see that there are a bunch of real TIs, but you got to know that these, I'll say infiltrators. I don't like the word fake TIs, but like cyber stalkers, infiltrators, gang stalkers. And what was my point on this? They don't outnumber real TIs. It's a smaller percentage. But I was going to say, as long as you keep those safeguards, you can keep a right perspective of, yeah, there are a bunch of real TIs in the group. It'll keep your hope up, so you can do things that bring that probability up, right? You can do things that bring that probability up of, getting with the right people, of having a better attitude about who's real and who's not. I promise there's way more real TIs than there are like infiltrators or whatever. Jackie Kelly says, I have a channel, Jackie Kelly Targeted Individual. Okay, so Jackie Kelly has a channel, Jackie Kelly, Jackie, and then space Kelly, Kelly, Targeted Individual. So please check out Jackie Kelly Targeted Individual. And you guys can come on too, y'all can come on the panels and stuff. Make sure if you do have a channel, when you come on the panel, be like, hey, my name is whatever. I've got a channel on YouTube. It's called, and then make sure before you leave or before we end the panel, go and remember to check out my channel, right? Get those things kind of in your head when you come on, because that's one of the main reasons that I'm doing panels is to use my platform to bolster like Nicholas Hamlin's channel, Wayne Morris's channel, the Truth Scene, the guy who came on. When Next came on, I wanted to build his channel. I went over there so he could send people that liked him over here because like YouTube doesn't, like when they're sharing targeted individual channels, they're not giving it to every targeted individual. There's a lot of censorship. So me going over to Nexus channel and people that didn't know about my channel, it grew my channel. Well, it wasn't severe. It wasn't like hundreds of people, but it was like a couple, it was like 20, 30. And then when he came over to my channel, people that didn't know about it from my channel went over to his channel. You see what I'm saying? So we don't want to rely on YouTube at all for anything, just to put up our videos. We want to rely on them to put up our videos, but after that, you can't really rely on them for anything because they've completely censored us. Like YouTube, Google, all of those social media outlets, they are directly linked to the Pentagon. That sounds insane, but I'll just say this: they're directly linked to the military-industrial complex. The military-industrial complex has ties to all social media platforms and mainstream media. It has its hooks in, and these social media platforms have to follow certain regulations to not talk about certain things that are national security, right? But they don't want to just totally they don't want to just slaughter all TI channels because then it'll make people think, whoa, hold on, there was something to that. So they do it in this very cowardly way. So I've noticed with my attackers and some of y'all's attackers and the way they do this, it's very cowardly. Like the other night, we were doing that panel, and I went to walk my dog real quick. And what my attackers did is when I came back, I couldn't see myself on the screen. It said like no camera or something like that. But everybody else on the panel, they could see me. So I was like, hey, can you see me? I looked like a fool, right? I didn't know what was going on. That's the kind of crap that like my attackers do. It's really subtle, just cowardly junk. And some people's attackers are just way more. Hey, Stacy. Stacy says, hi, everyone. Hey, True Scene. Lost Year says, I think the alien and higher being stuff is part of their program, though. Mine have pretended to be anything they think I might believe. Yeah. Mine said that they're contractors under the NSA. That's what they say. It's okay. So we kind of went through some. I'll just read you guys' chats. I do have an article I could read. Let's see. I kind of just wanted to go through the defense stuff, the X-ray protector thing. I will show this. Let's show this because this would be something like for the mothers with children who are maybe getting targeted. Let's just show this real quick. One of these shielded caps is like $30, and it can block out a lot of stuff if they're getting hit directly with an external hit in the head. And then this thing is really cool. I have like 5 balaclavas and then 5 brain coats put together, but I bought them over a long period of time, right? I bought like one month, then the next month I bought one, then the next month I bought one, and stuff like that. So I've built up my defenses over years like that. This radiation blocking headband, no, I like this one better. Okay, check this out. Check out this radiation shielding earmuff headband. What you could do I wonder if it has a little flap in it. You could get one of these things, maybe for your child, and then put a little neodymium magnet by the ear, and like have it kind of pressed to the ear. So that would be an idea to get the radiation shielding ear muff or headband, and then get the maybe like a, if you could get a 50-pound pull, two 50-pound pull neodymium magnets from Applied Magnets, on both sides, and then put them with this radiation shielding earmuff thing. Hold them there. If your child is getting V2K, and also it can be used for adults too. But I really wanted to focus on, like, because Autumn was talking about her children being targeted, so I really wanted to talk about ideas that could work for your children if they're being targeted. Grounding magnets, not too big though. Make sure the magnets are not like 400-pound pull. Don't put that near your child's head, because your child's brain is still developing, and a huge magnet near a child's head could mess with the electromagnetic field of the head. Erica Nerio says perps are bold because they are in a big group, but that doesn't take too many brains or guts. Yeah, they're cowards. They're go-alongs to get along. They're what's the new term I just heard a couple of days ago? They're surrender monkeys. Surrender monkeys. It's like people who say, "Oh, the system's too big. If you can't beat them, join them," and stuff like that. They're surrender monkeys. That's if you're doing that with an evil system, then you're evil. You know. Yeah, Stacy says, Tanya Bauer, what's going on with Autumn? I don't know how bad Autumn is getting attacked, Stacy, but her children are being attacked heavily. And I know she was talking, what I caught from the chat for the last live stream is that her son is going through a lot of the targeting. So I'm trying to put out some ideas, especially the grounding, especially like gel packs in the freezer for emergencies, maybe the ZVS driver to make a whole area attenuated, and then, like a less EMF hat or something like that. I know what she want, what any mother with her children being targeted wants is it to stop. But I'm just thinking of anything that could attenuate it, and take away the pain. Oh, David Irwin says Autumn's in trouble. I don't think she's being targeted. I think there's a lot of health issues with her children because they're targeting her children. That's what I was getting from the chat. I didn't go back and like read everything in detail, but that's kind of what I picked up. Yeah, thank you, Stacy. Stacy says, "Oh, not good. I'll say a prayer for them. Everybody, let's all say prayers for them." Yeah, Deb Full of Grace says Autumn's kids are being attacked, and there's a lot of people. Just somebody, as I was talking about it before, and somebody in chat was like, "Yeah, that's my situation too. My children are being attacked." So, Ronster AK says, "Rick M, not always. My perps have gained my trust just to get close, so they could hurt me more, and it does hurt more when they do." Yeah. Hey, Trevor. Trevor D. Hitchens said, "It is true. Hi, Room. Twitter does not censor me anymore. Kicked off 20 times, but not anymore." Oh, so is Twitter getting better about that stuff? Oh, yeah. Deb Full of Grace says, because he used the Joel Osteen video. Yeah, Joel. And then I went and I edited it out. Like I edited out that 30-minute piece, but Joel Osteen does that because he doesn't want people making big money off of that. I am going to call his ministry, and I'm going to call his ministry and tell him my problem and tell him I love him and I love his work and I love his sermons and everything like that. And I'm going to see what he can maybe do for us. I'm going to see if he believes that this is happening. It's worth a shot. I'm sure maybe some targeted individuals have already tried, but I want to do it. I want to see the process and see what he says, see if they respond to me back. I just want to try. I'm gonna just stay. I'm gonna stay in faith. I'm gonna stay in faith because my instinct is to be like, he's not gonna even respond, or if he does, he's gonna say, I need to go seek mental help. But I don't know. I feel like he's a man of God, um, that he has a close connection to God, and I'm going to test that. You know, I'm going to test that and see if he can maybe try and help any of us. Yes, Stacy, it's good to see you too. How are you doing? How's your family doing and everything? Oh yeah, Generation said last live stream, Kyle, was wow. I love it. 8 hours straight ahead. Yeah, yeah. I was getting tired at the end, but it was just such a great conversation, and Nicholas is just so smart. It was just a good mixture on the panel. And I think that Boskert was asking some really good questions. He doesn't. I don't think Boskert understood that what he was doing there is just an intelligent man trying to figure this out. You get non-targeted individuals that come to this channel, or even targeted individuals come to this channel. They're going to respond to that because he doesn't look like he's mentally ill at all. You know, none of us did. None of us looked like we were mentally ill at all, and that's what we need to be doing. That's why we need to be having more panels like that, because non-TIs can come in. They can be like, these people don't seem mentally ill. They're talking about Tesla coils and you know, ZVS drivers, and also, you know, like trying to organize rallies and things like that. It's, I mean, that's what's going to get us there, right? Cool, cool. Okay, so Erica Nario said, Ronster, perps are like your shadows, so it's easy to identify them, but they reaching out to non-perps. Oh yeah, but try reaching out to non-perps. Yeah, they are in the you know, they're in the world. There are many non-perps in the world. Many real targeted individuals all over YouTube. Real targeted individuals on the conference calls. Yeah, Happy New Year's to anybody saying Happy New Year's. We're gonna do so Stacy said, I lay an EMF blanket over my pillows and sleep on top. It helps immensely. Did you get that the new one, Stacy? Did you get did you get your Christmas present? Jeannie says, strong-minded, you are right. Those aliens are the fallen angels. This is designed by the system. They are demon-possessed humans, not alien. They want you to think this lie. Uh, these are crimes against humans. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess they are demon possessed. I don't know. This woman on my V2K seems like she. Let's take a V2K break, right? Okay, the woman just goes, "Turn it off. I'm done with this." And the guy said, "I don't care anymore." I'm having a really hard time hearing him with the ZVS driver. Um, and everything. I can't really hear it. The guy is harder to hear. The woman's easier to hear because her voice is like, and his voice is like, woo, woo, woo. They sound like they're coming from behind that wall right there. Okay, and the guy just goes, get away from it. See, they say, he says, get away from it every once in a while because they're trying, their surveillance role playing like the woman on the shift is going to turn something off on the equipment. So he says, get away from it. Okay, and he said something. This is happening. It doesn't matter. This is happening. So he's always having conversations with this woman saying, this is happening. We're going to do this. And then sometimes she's like, well, can we help him? Like, we should help him. And he goes, are you serious? Like, or she'll say like, I can't really do this. Like this guy, he's, you know, he's just not evil. And he's like, are you serious? We have to do this. It doesn't matter. Like, so that's a lot of their conversations are like that, with different wording. A lot of it is just chatterbox. A lot of it is just chatterbox AI. Okay, that was my B2K break. Nice. Stacy says cheers, just having a couple. I was thinking tomorrow night I would do a do like maybe at 10 o'clock, start a like, or maybe 9 o'clock or something like that, start a hangout, and then we go into the New Year's just hanging out together. And I was gonna maybe get some champagne, from my parents' place. Stacy says, Tanya Bauer got it from Amazon. The brand is Defender Shield. Did you get that today, Stacy? Yeah, let's show that one. That blanket, because there's a blanket. Let's do that. Let me look it up here. It's on Amazon. Just pull it up on orders. Hold on. Defender Shield. Shield. Here. Okay, so this is the blanket that Stacy's talking about, guys. Oh, wait, I got to share my screen. Hold on. Let me share my screen. I might not have shared my screen on some of the stuff I was showing you. So this is the blanket that Stacy says works really good. The full one is like $320. The standard is $114.99. Defender Shield EMF radiation protection blanket, universal organic bamboo anti-radiation throw cover for fertility, pregnancy, infants, babies, children, maternity, and baby blanket. This would probably be a good solution if you had a child who was targeted, like one of the smaller blankets like this. The standard ish is like 36-inch by 35-inch. Would probably be great. Okay, so 100% organic bamboo. I'll try and put as many of these links in the description as I can for people who are looking for defenses, especially for your children. This would be a really good idea, but it is kind of expensive, the smaller one. So 100% organic bamboo, ultimate protection from wireless radiation, only EMF radiation protection blanket with multiple layers of shielding to block up to 100% of wireless radiation from cell phones, tablets, laptops, Wi-Fi routers, and other electronic devices and ambient emissions in the environment. Our technology does not interfere with cell phone or device connectivity while using on or near the blanket. Help protect yourself, unborn baby, infant, or child from wireless radiation. Premium 100% organic bamboo, hypoallergenic and non-toxic organic bamboo exterior with multiple layers of wireless radiation shielding fabric inside. The Defender Shield EMF radiation protection blanket can help you or your baby stay comfortable and warm while protecting from wireless radiation emitted from mobile devices or from ambient emissions in the environment. So this is, Stacy says it's like one of the best things she uses for defense. Defender Shield. I'll keep this up so I can put that in the description of the video. Hey, Jack says I still say I could strip Shield from junk microwave ovens and install it as shielding in rooms. That's not a bad idea. That is not a bad idea at all. Or you can make a Faraday bunker out of it. Like if you could place it right around the Faraday, like in like a 5 by 5 or something. No, it'd have to be like a 5 by 6, a 5 by 6 rectangle, and use microwave parts. That's not a bad idea at all. Hey, strong-minded individual. Strong-minded individual says karaoke on your channel, Wayne. We could maybe do, I don't know. I think we're just gonna hang out tomorrow night. Maybe if I drink enough champagne, we could do karaoke later. The problem is that when you do karaoke, your video is just gonna get copyright strike and none of it will go out. So even if you did karaoke for like 2 songs for like a 5-hour panel or whatever, the whole video could get taken down. But if that happened, I guess that I could just go back and edit that out. That's one of the good things about like that Joel Osteen stuff getting copyright strike. I just had to go back and edit it out on the YouTube editor, and it was easy, and then it went back up. So at least I learned, how to do that. Erica Nario says, I hear you and I agree. The perps and their slave masters have humongous egos, so they flood our lives with it. But pray God send real people into your life. Yes, yes, Erica. Pray that God sends, and he already has those people lined up. Like God, right? This is what I say all the time. God is targeting us also. So God has those people lined up, just as your evil, the DHS fusion centers and your microwave attackers, they have people lined up for you, right? They got some fake people lined up for you and perpetrators and stuff like that. God has the right people lined up for you. He's targeting us. God's targeting us in a positive way. So remember that. God is creating a balance where he's targeting you too. In a good way, not like with directed energy weapons, for good things to come into your life. Yeah, we could do some, I think we could maybe do some karaoke more. We're just going to hang out. I'm going to hang out tomorrow night. Devful of Grace says it was a great video call. I see other channels have to be careful with copyrights. Yeah. Yeah, especially on YouTube. I'm going to see if maybe I can do the Joel Osteen thing on BitChute, on my BitChute channel, and just hang out and watch Joel Osteen videos sometime. And I'm going to see if they let me do that. See if they have a copyright thing. You have to be very careful on YouTube. You could play one song and the whole video will get taken down. But that's what I'm saying. There's an easy way to go into YouTube afterwards, after it's blocked, and just edit those couple of minutes out. So not really that big of a deal if you do mess up like that. Yeah, Mike Banks says, it's only when other people are drinking that I want to drink. I'm way behind in chats, guys. Hey, Gina Davies says, I forked out $300 the first day I met him. The first thing he asked was for me to pay for his haircut. Are you effing kidding me? Stop, just stop. The women he stayed with called me and told me. Oh, yeah, somebody put in your life like that. Hey, Ron, T.I. Ron, Baltimore, Maryland, says, I think something has to be played for 30 seconds or longer to be copywritten, but if you stay under 30 seconds, yeah. I think it might be 15 seconds, Ron. We need to check on that. Check on that time, because I've heard it's 15 seconds, but you might be right. It might be 30 seconds. And Ron, I'm doing tomorrow night. Yeah, I'll be able to wake up. But sometime before midnight, right? So maybe 9, 10, 11. I'm not sure. One of those times, I'm going to start a hangout tomorrow night on my channel, and we'll hang out past the new year. If anybody wants to come and do that for targeted individuals that don't have like a party to go to or anything like that. I don't have a party. And I'd like to spend it with you guys. Also, I just heard something, and I'm sure a lot of you all know about this, but if you do something on January 1st, like if you, just for regular New Year's, if you do something on January 1st, you're more likely to keep that thing up than if you just do it on some, random date, which I guess is why people, do those New Year's resolutions. But think about the first day of 2020. Think about the first day of 2020. So we want to really, really, if you want to do something, do it the first day of 2020. You're more likely to keep that thing going in your life. No, Sleepless in 2012, no way. Joel Osteen was hanging with Lady Gaga. Enough said. I used to follow him and no way. Show me that. Do you have a picture of that or a link or something? No way. I don't believe that. Let's see if there's anything else that I wanted to go through, guys, because I want to do a long hangout tomorrow night. I just wanted to give those kind of solutions couple of them. Maybe they can help Autumn. I don't know. She may be, her kids, she may have, I don't know. If somebody could let me know how she's doing, but I'm gonna try and find out. It's hard because she can't get emails or anything. I think that was pretty much it. Yeah, that was pretty much all that I had to show you guys. Yeah. Strong-minded individual said Joel Osteen does not teach the Word of God. He mixes New Age doctrine with Scripture. He is a false preacher, just like all the other megachurch preachers. Well, what I see is that at at the beginning of every sermon and the end of every sermon, he says he prays in the name of Jesus Christ, and then he preaches, belief. Belief can change your life, and he gets people's foot in the door. He doesn't necessarily go through and he does go through a lot of scripture, but I see that what he's trying to do is get people in the door, right? He's trying to get them in the door of that pathway that God's got for them. So I see what he does is good. I see what he's doing. I see what he's doing because he has a ministry that's like worldwide, and he's just trying to get people's foot in the door so that then God can lead them to the right place. I like him. I can feel his sincerity, especially when he cries during some of his sermons. I know that a lot of you guys think he's a false preacher. I'll probably get thumbs down on this whole video just because I said Joel Osteen was good. Oh well, I like him. I think he's sincere. I'm going to look into him more though too, but he's not satanic, and I doubt he was hanging out with Lady Gaga. Maybe like at some kind of charity function or something. I don't know. Yeah, Wayne Morris, that's a good idea. Wayne Morris says, I might do a vid for Autumn so people can leave well wishes. Yes. Yeah, Wayne Morris says she can't communicate on her vids. Maybe tomorrow night she'll come. I'll do a hangout tomorrow night, and maybe she can come tomorrow night. And I think what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm just gonna get on here and we're just gonna have a New Year's hangout. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Tuesday. So there may be some conference calls open and stuff too, but I'll have my live stream open. People can come on the panel. Maybe I'll get some information, but I think I kind of want to maybe drink some champagne and just hang out, and other people can talk about whatever they want to talk about. Yeah, Wayne, he kissed Gaga. Yeah, right. All right, guys. I don't have anything else tonight, but just to say tomorrow we're gonna do a hangout. David Irwin says, strong-minded individual. I've seen enough to know you're right about Joel Osteen and his wife. We are gods, not gods. He doesn't think he's a god though. He's just rich. He's rich and he sells all of his books and stuff. I haven't heard anything bad that he's ever done. Preaches the prosperity gospel. It's like this though. It's like this. When he's preaching prosperity, he's talking to certain people, and some people, they may be like completely homeless. Even for those people though, he's saying that God has a purpose and a plan for them. And if you can get people's resonance up, if you can get their positivity up, if you can get people thinking God has this, then there's more of a probability, right? There's more of a probability that they're going to start moving in this positive direction in their life, that things are going to start working out, that they're going to come across the right people. If people are thinking positively and they're having faith in God, the probability of things going right in their life are going to increase. And he does preach that not just if you believe in God doesn't mean you're just going to get everything that you want, right? He says there are seasons. There are sometimes seasons of night, right? Where a whole season of night, like we would be in a season of night as targeted individuals. But then joy comes in the morning. So he does preach those. He doesn't preach like if you believe in God, everything's going to be great for you. Sometimes he does have prosperity gospels, but he teaches that just because you believe in God doesn't mean that everything's going to go right for you. You guys that don't like him, just watch some of his sermons. Just listen to some of his sermons. So many people don't like him. So weird. Yeah, Stacy said, good things to come for us TIs in 2020. Let's stay positive. Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. T.I. Ron in Baltimore, Maryland says, being positive works. It's one way to sustain throughout this. I promise you that. Oh yeah, you get your resonance up. You have more probability of things working out. You have more probability of people helping you out. You're going to be stronger mentally, physically, spiritually. You're going. I mean, staying positive in this is so important. Like, and I know it sounds so crazy because sometimes we just can't. Things are so bad. But when it's your survival at stake, right? It's your survival and other people's survival. You got to find creative, adaptive ways of keeping your mood up, keeping your resonance up, and it's hard. I think that sometimes the practical shielding things are needed. They're necessary, right? They're necessary because you're so depressed and so anxious and everything that you can't just be like, oh, okay, yeah, I feel great, because you're like, oh, I feel great, oh, and you really feel horrible. So some of these practical solutions are very necessary. You can start kind of climbing up, but it's possible. It's possible to do it. Yeah, Deb Full of Grace says, I love Joel's jokes. I love how he starts out the sermon with a joke, and then he has one in the middle, and then he tells these really funny stories, and it leaves people receptive to his message. Yeah, and people probably go away from those sermons just feeling great and feeling full of God, and like, really, really praising the name of Jesus Christ. At the end of every sermon, he says, in the name of Jesus Christ. Like they pray a prayer, and I can't remember the exact prayer, but it's praying in the name of Jesus Christ every sermon. Um, I just don't think that it's bad that he makes money for what he does. And I guarantee you that he does, like, he gives a lot of it away. I guarantee you that he gives way more than 10% tithe to charities and to people, people in need. I guarantee it. Yeah, I don't. Nicole said he said Jesus is not the only way to heaven. She's like asking that question. Are you sure? See, that's it. I don't think he says that. I think that he wants to get people's foot in the door. Like, so if you have somebody who has maybe is from India or another country, because his sermons are for people around the world. So he wants like somebody in Africa or India to get their foot in the door. So he prays in the name of Jesus Christ, but he tries to make the gospel about like just giving things to God and trusting in God. He wants to get people around the world. He wants to get their foot in the door so that then they can learn about Jesus Christ. He doesn't want to beat them over the head with it right before and scare them off, right? He wants to do it a certain way so that God has a hold of their path and God can lead them to Jesus Christ. Like, I know exactly what he's doing. I know exactly what he's doing, and it's good. He has very, very good intentions. It's brought so many people to Jesus Christ. Like, ask how many people has Joel Osteen brought to Jesus Christ? And I guarantee you it's probably like in tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe, I doubt millions, but maybe hundreds of thousands of people he's brought to Jesus Christ. That's good, right? Hundreds of thousands of people that he brought to Jesus Christ. That's a big thing. Oh, Deadpool Gray said he said that to Oprah. Yeah, he probably said something so he probably said something so he didn't alienate her audience and alienate all the people who watch her, so that they'll watch his sermons and they will be led to Jesus Christ. So he said something like, yeah, he did. He said something like, there are many pathways to God. I think he said there are many pathways to God, but you walk a line, you walk a fine line, right? Like, I think the pathway to God is in the name of Jesus Christ, through Jesus Christ. But you don't want to alienate people right at the beginning. You want to give them time to listen to your message so they can eventually get to Jesus Christ, right? And that's what he was doing. He believes that the pathway to God is Jesus Christ. He's trying to get people in there to the path of Jesus Christ before he alienates them and drives them away. That's a complicated thing. It's a complicated, and I know that some Christians would just be like, no, it's not a complicated thing. You tell everybody the only way to God is through Jesus Christ. But there's intelligent ways to get people on the right path to Jesus Christ, right? You know, I think that Christians need to evolve in the way that they put out information, because a lot of people think that our beliefs are very quaint and superstitious and not sophisticated. And everything in this world evolves, right? Everything in this world evolves. So why shouldn't the most important thing, our belief in God, you know? I'll probably get a bunch of dislikes for that. But Nicole says, I hate that Christians believe you got to be poor to go to heaven. It's not true. Now I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. Prosperity preaching is not all bad. Yeah, I don't think it's all bad. I think that people deserve to, earn a living and have money and stuff like that. Lost Year says, in the past, I didn't like Osteen because I automatically rejected positivity. But then something changed and I wanted positivity. I was ready to accept it. Yeah, and somebody left a comment that I kind of agree with. He was saying that Joel Osteen gives simple solutions to very complicated problems. But how I see it is Joel Osteen gives simple inspiration, simple beliefs for complicated solutions. So it's not like he's trying to say this simple solution of believing this is going to fix all your problems. He wants to give you the inspiration, the simple belief, so that then you can tackle your complicated problems. That's what he's trying to do. All right, guys. I think I'm going to close it out. I'm going to do a hangout tomorrow for New Year's. And so everybody get your champagne. If my mom didn't leave anything, I probably won't be drinking anything. But yeah, I just wanted to go through those defenses tonight. And tomorrow we'll have a panel where anybody can talk about what they want to talk about. Get the Zoom application, and let's see, get the Zoom app, and you can also come on, just find that main number, and I'm going to give people the meeting ID and then the PIN code for the panel, so that you can just call in. So you don't have to come on. And even if you come on, you can come on without video. So remember that. You don't have to come on with your webcam if you don't want anybody to see you. Okay, guys, I love y'all. I'm going to wrap this one up, but I'm going to see you guys tomorrow, okay? Yeah, Ann Rizzi says, agreed, strong-minded. Lots of fake preachers out there preaching of gods and are not of Jesus. Yeah. I feel like you gotta get people in the door, because there's so many people who don't believe in anything, right? There's so many people that don't believe in anything. They think that they believe in nihilism, variables, that there could be nothing such as God. And you got to get people in the door believing that there is something that's past what we know. There is something that's past what we know. And once you get their foot in the door, then God's going to take that. You don't always have to hold that on your shoulders of teaching them exactly the right thing. If you can get their foot in the door, God's got a hold of that. If you can give somebody some faith that he exists, they're going to find the path to Jesus Christ. So, I mean, I don't know. I think that I really do. I don't know if this is blasphemous or whatever, but I think that Christians, we have to evolve in the ways that we talk to people. We have to evolve in how we serve God. I don't know. I guess that's not blasphemous, but it's just everything evolves. And if something doesn't evolve, it usually, dies out. So, and God, created the world to evolve in certain ways, created the universe to evolve. So obviously the way that we understand him is going to evolve, and that's just the way I see it without like any complication. And I say that Jesus Christ is the way to God. But like we've got to evolve in the way that we explain it to people, because people are getting very intelligent. If you just hit them over the head with a Bible, they're going to be like, well, that's not sophisticated enough for me. So why don't we become sophisticated and be able to talk about a lot of different angles of belief and faith, and then let God, we talk about it to the best of our human ability, right? Well, not right now, but like on my videos, sometimes I'll talk about my faith, and I just try and let God speak through me to that person. God's going to take them to where they need to go, as long as we're having that conversation, right? And I think that's the way that Joel Osteen sees it. As long as he's starting that conversation, getting their foot in the door, and then ending his sermon with, in the name of Jesus Christ. That's a man of God to me. That's a man of Jesus Christ right there, you know. All right, guys, I love y'all. Stacy says, good night, everybody. Stay strong, fam. Yeah, stay strong, fam. And I'll do a hangout tomorrow. So no worries, guys. We're probably just gonna hang out though. I'm not gonna have anything prepared at all, you know. Strong-minded individual says, I agree, Vulcan, as long as it doesn't compromise or change the true message of the scripture. Yeah, I agree. Nicole says, everyone has a different path to learn about God. Religion is too rigid and doesn't get that. Yeah, I'm not a fan of dogma. The Bible contradicts itself in many places. Jesus contradicts the Old Testament, right? So Jesus came in and there was a new covenant. So the Old Testament, he was an evolution, right? And so it doesn't stop there. It doesn't even stop with Jesus. His teachings are about love, and Jesus wants us to evolve in our faith. So what would Jesus do? What would Jesus do when telling somebody about him or telling them about Christianity? I mean, he would evolve. He would use ways that people would be like, oh man, that's blasphemous. People thought Jesus was blasphemous. And I feel like that's a huge symbol of, of kind of what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to change things. All right, night, guys. Yeah, I got to kind of rest a little bit. My stomach still hurts from this morning. Don't take chlorella. If you eat something, don't take chlorella right after. Try and take chlorella on an empty stomach, because I swear it was metabolizing my food or something, like right after I ate it. And I had some really bad stomach problems from like eating right after I took chlorella. So be careful with that. Yeah, Devil Grace says he is the way, the truth, and the life. Yeah. Lost Year says you have to deliver the message in a way that makes sense to people, but still maintain integrity. Yeah, and that's a tough balance, right? That's a tough balance when you're just getting it, you're just talking about it. And a lot of people nowadays, a lot of Christians are like, oh, you didn't say this word. I have this scripture right here that says like, and there's a lot of like, oh, they didn't say this thing exactly right, so they're not of Jesus Christ. I'm starting to not care and to just do what I know is right, and people can react to it how they want to. I know I'm a good person. I know that I try and get people to Jesus Christ. So I know that I'm doing the right way, but so many Christians have different, they get really, with the dogma, with the details of scripture, they get very, very like, oh no, you're wrong about, and I think that we just need to have, we need to talk about things and just kind of move forward and make the main thing, that Jesus Christ is the pathway to God. All right, guys, I love y'all. I'm going to go ahead and end it. This wasn't supposed to be this long tonight. And then tomorrow, we'll just hang out. I'll bring some things just in case nobody really wants to jump on. Yeah, unless something changes, like unless I get a call and there's some huge party or something, which I doubt. That's kind of just a joke. Yeah, so we'll hang out tomorrow night. We'll hang out tomorrow night from New Year's Eve into the New Year's. And anybody who wants to come and hang out, we'll do that. And we'll be on a panel, and it'll be pretty loose, and we can just talk about anything you guys want to. So I love you guys. Stay strong, stay courageous. God's got this. God's got this. But we've got to do some, physical things, some practical things. And please, if you have little ones that are being targeted, think of some of these things. Please take some of these solutions and maybe try some, like the grounding and the ice packs and everything like that. And I'm going to be trying to talk to Nicholas Hamlin, get some better solutions for all of us. They're coming. 2020, new year, 2020, a new year. All right, guys, I love y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow.